Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the El Nino podcast. I'm Eladio Nino, and this is Real Everyday People. I want to thank everybody for sharing, for subscribing, for tuning in. I appreciate you. I love you. Send my heart to you. I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there taking care of their business. I got so many, man. My brother Zoe, my man Jimmy the barber. I mean, there's so many brothers, man, that I can name that are out there taking care of their business and taking care of their kids, man. Much love to you, brothers. I salute you, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Keep on, keep it on, keep on putting in the work, man. Because I know we don't get enough credit for what we do, man. But it doesn't even matter, man. We do it because we men of the heart. You know what I'm saying? We got a special guest here today, man. It's a good brother, conscious brother. I've been building with him, man. I like him. I like his agenda. And without no further ado, man, we got the brother Hector Santiago here, man.
Appreciate you.
Oye, mi gente, ¿qué te pasa, coño?
¿Cómo está, mi hermano? Well, hello, everybody. My name is Hector Santiago. I'm running for Detroit City Council for District 6. And I would like to thank Eladio for allowing me to be on his podcast today. And like he said, happy Father's Day to everybody out there and taking care of their kids. And also those mothers that's stepping up in those roles, that are stepping up in those fathers' roles. So happy Father's Day. Feliz Día de los Padres a todos y a las madres que se han sido de este papel.
Listen, man, most definitely, bro. Definitely salute the mothers, man, who have had to play both roles, you know what I'm saying, in their children's life. I was raised, you know, by a single mother who taught me how to be a man, who taught me how to, you know, be sensitive and be understanding of women and their natures and just all things. She just raised me to be a good person, man, in general. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all the mothers, man, who played the roles of the fathers. You know what I mean? And, man, I had a wonderful weekend. I went to Chicago. We went to Tinley Park. We went to Cicero. Like, shout out to all my family, the Aranda family, the Nino family. I love you guys. It was so good to see you guys and celebrate my cousin Jade's graduation out there. We went out to Silver Lake, you know, the next day. We went out to Silver Lake and Pinckney, man. It was just priceless, man. It was just priceless. You know what I'm saying? The feeling that I get with family, you know what I mean? The connection, you know what I'm saying? There's no hidden agendas, there's no backbiting, nothing. Like, everybody's there just with love, man. And it felt so good, man. You know what I'm saying? And as a man, as a father, as a human being, I felt so loved and so appreciated, man. Yes. You know, and we got to keep that going, bro, and not just wait for once a year for special holidays, for things like that to happen, but every day we should practice that. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Look at unfortunate situations that happened. I think it was Mick Nichols in I-75. There was a 2-year-old shot and killed, and a 9-year-old brother that was, you know what I'm saying, that's in critical condition over a shooting. Like, we hear about all these things going on in our community, and it's so sad and it's so unfortunate, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it takes pillars like us, man, to be able to create the change. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Educate our brothers, educate our people, educate our community to a higher standard, man. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? To see a bigger vision.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. You know.
Okay.
I mean, you nailed the nail in the coffin, man. It's all about family. You know, I'm happy you had fun in Chi-Town. You know.
I love it, bro.
Hey, Chi-Town. I always go over there, Humble Park, Day Vision, eat Puerto Rican food with my family and my wife and my kids.
Habichuela.
Hey,
el pernil.
Arroz con gandules.
Todo lo bueno, coño. Shout out to Chi-Town, baby.
Chi-Town,
much love.
I always gained about 5-10 pounds over there, you know.
Over one weekend,
But oh man, over one weekend, and you know, I'm happy that you know that now we have Rincon Tropical, not over there in Michigan, that they have the Puerto Rican food and all that. I can go and gain 3 to 4 pounds, you know, every other week.
Shout out to Rincon Tropical.
Y'all be doing your thing over there. I don't have to go to Chicago every 2 or 3 weeks, you know. So, I mean, it's all about family, like you said. You know, you got to enjoy the time with your family, especially during this pandemic. We have lost a lot of loved ones. It's very tough, you know. Try not to get emotional because, I mean, a lot of people take family for granted, right? And you really got to really tell that person, I love you. Every day you walk out, I love you. When you come in, if you fight, you know, hey, forgive me, because you really don't know when you see them again. And this pandemic really showed us what the value of family is. And you know, like Eladio said, man, you know, going out and having a great time and just forgetting things, you know, of the past or the future that you could build with that family, man. That's all you can focus on right now, because this pandemic really have put a lot of families in our community, in our district, in our city, all around the world. I mean, really behind. And we really got to help each other get out of this together as a big family. So, you know, I could go on about family.
You know, I feel like at the end of the day, bro, just as a people, as a community, as a culture, bro, like we are no strangers to danger, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like when this pandemic, COVID-19 shit hit, like definitely, you know, the whole nation was disgruntled about the situation, man. But like I said, our people are not a stranger to danger. We've been dealing with the mentality of a pandemic mentality that we've been doing, of suffering, of poverty, of violence, of, you know, of murder, of, you know, only the strong survive, live for the day because tomorrow's never promised, like kill or be killed mentality. You know what I'm saying? Through gangs, which I look at as tribes who have migrated, who have came, I saw, I conquered type of mentality that we've dealt with in our communities for years, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so just as a race, as a human race, as a nationality, as a community, as a society, you know what I'm saying? Like we've been able to move forward. Like we've had a lot of casualties, you know, especially to this pandemic. We've lost a lot of loved ones and things like that. But, you know, for those who have made it, for those who were, you know, who had COVID, who didn't have COVID, like we survived something that was designed to kill us. There was a system and too many questions and not enough answers, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, as humans, our only nature is to be able to move forward. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're doing in every way, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
To piggyback off what you're saying, you know, a shout out to all those businesses, small businesses too, restaurants that during that pandemic really stood up for our communities, that really went out over and beyond to help those families in need with food. You know, Nacimiento, Rincon, and I can name so much others, and also community leaders that went out and gave food boxes to the whole community. I mean, all these organizations that really helped us during this time. So shout out to all of you, because that shows what family is, what our community is all about, what our district is. We're one of the strongest districts, one of the strongest cities in the state, man, and we're continuing to show. And I just had to say shout out and thank you guys for showing how strong we are and united. You know, I always say we conquer, and divided we fall, and we stood united, and we actually we're almost out of this. You know, we're not out completely, but we're almost out of this, because we're actually hopefully conquering this.
You know, it's just this pandemic has affected so many mind states of people, you know what I'm saying? And it has really disconnected people, because now there's just a big lack of trust, even within your own households, within your own families, within your own social circles, things like that. So it has done a disservice, but at the same time, it has educated us to a lot of things, especially to the government, to the politics, you know what I'm saying? We have a lot of theories, you know what I'm saying? Who's right, who's wrong, what's true, who wasn't, who was the better leader, this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, we were blessed to have another day to wake up and be able to move forward as a people, man. You know what I'm saying? And we still have pillars in the community like us, because it's so easy to go to the negative path, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much temptation, especially when you're hungry. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to eat and somebody's showing you a way, but you already know what comes with it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But it seems like, you know, when that mentality being embedded in your brain about, you know, only the strong survive, you know, by all means necessary mentality, people sacrifice their lives, people sacrifice their freedom, or they sacrifice the well-being of other people. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, bro, like I grew into being a humanitarian, and everything that I do has to contribute to the well-being of not only but myself, but my community, to humanity in general, bro. You know what I'm saying? And sitting down having conversations with you, bro, like my personal agenda in life. Like I said, I found my purpose in prison. I came home and I've been on a mission to fulfill that purpose. You know what I'm saying? We've had brothers here like David Sanchez, you know what I'm saying? I asked him about his agenda, you know what I'm saying? He had an agenda that was in line with what I believe in. Our conversations, you know what I'm saying, about what you've been through to get to where you at, you know what I'm saying? And fulfill a purpose and be on a mission that contributes to the well-being, you know what I'm saying, of our community. And you know, at the end of the day, man, I salute everybody. I don't care about the politics or the votes and all that takes course. I care about the intent of our people and our leaders, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And whether it come out down to win, lose, or draw, bro, I love to know that your heart is in the right place.
Exactly.
You know, and that's why it makes it so easy for me to do my job at the DHDC, because everybody is there not just for a check, you know what I'm saying, but to see the results and the invest in the community and society in general, to uplift, to educate, and to empower our people, bro.
Yes, sir. No,
You know?
that's true. I mean, um, you hit it right on the head, man. You know, at the end of the day, you know, with the negativity, yes, everything that has passed, we can point the fingers like, hey, we could done this, that, and the other, but it's what we can do, right? We can't keep looking in the past. We got to look forward. And, you know, running in this race, man, it's all about the people at the end of the day. It's all about our community. It's all about our businesses, organizations. I mean, our people, you know, and everybody that's in our district, in our city, how can we improve it? And even if a person is not elected, how can you continue that path, right? Or if you are elected, how can you bring everybody together to continue that path and make it stronger, right? And that's what our jobs are when we're running, is to what, empower everybody when you're elected to, hey, I need you at the table with me. So at the end of the day, we're stronger, right? You're receiving this information, so that way we're all together in the community, in the district, and we're able to actually say, hey, this is what we need in order for this zip code or this area to be, you know, have the resources that it needs in order to push itself out of this situation, you know, because yes, in city council, you got certain limits, but at the end of the day, whatever, if elected, whatever I'm able to do instant, like we were talking, you know, we have a great conversation at DHBC, you know, instant, you know, that if elected, you know, these are things, and I'll get into my story, you know.
Because I remember when I introduced you to Nikki that works for the COA. I introduced you to Cindy. They all work in the family part COA department. I introduced you to the youth department at the DHDC, and I just felt that was necessary because, like, everybody that I work with, including myself, bro, like, we are on the same mission, bro, to improve, empower, and educate our community, bro. And when you talked about your agenda, because what was the first thing they asked you? What is your agenda?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you started talking about economical change, you just started talking about, you know, districting issues and just everything that's going on, small businesses, evolution, and you know, even accountability, you know, for those who are in charge. But, you know, we need more pillars. We need more leaders.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
In our community like yourselves. And what I respect the most, bro, is that you've been through the mud too. You know what I'm saying? You've been, you know, people have been biased towards you, racist against you, prejudice against you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, you've had to go through all many challenges, many obstacles to get to where you are today, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I respect the most because, you know, a lot of people, they get lost in the sauce when they get involved in the politics. But, you know, my number one rule, and it was a song by Jay-Z, is stick to the script, man. You know what I'm saying? And when I stick to the script, man, it just, I feel like I'd be better because, you know, the devil don't take no breaks, man. Temptations come from many different, you know, many different angles. You know, they provide power, they provide resources, they provide money. But at the end of the day, people get lost in the sauce because they lose the concept of what they were supposed to do in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So your heart got to be in the game, your mind, your focus, and it comes with a lot of sacrifice. When you stand on things that you believe in, it comes with a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of people don't want to make a lot of them sacrifices. Sometimes they conform to the system, and they become part of the problem instead of becoming a part of the solution.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And while you were talking, you know, I don't know. I was getting emotional because, like you said, devil never takes breaks, man. And I have been in the mud. I'll give you a little story, but I'll give you my story and then I'll get back to the DHDC. But born and raised in Southwest Detroit, man. Parents are pastors. I grew up in the church, right? And I seen them just being those public servant in the church, right? And growing up, seeing how they were able to handle other people's issues. Whatever they needed, they were able to improvise, right? Until I seen at home, we didn't have. We lived in poverty. And I would always ask my parents, like, Mom, Dad, how can we give when we don't have, right? And something that my mom and dad always said, you give with your heart, you shall receive. And they always installed that faith and compassion, right? I never understood that until I started growing up. And that's where I got a lot of my fruit and loins, I would say, right? It's from my parents. And man, just seeing the work they've did in the church, but at the same time, what they've went through too. And I'm not going to say we had everything. I mean, I just didn't understand how we could give and then receive, because God always found a way for us to make it through, right? Then, of course, went to DPS schools from elementary, middle, and then graduated from Western International High School. So I excelled in the classroom and on the baseball field, you know. So that's why I got a baseball jersey. That's part of my campaign. It's on my literature because baseball really, I would say, kept me out of trouble. Love baseball. I coach, but during that time, you know, my freshman year, Angel Garcia was senior, was my coach, and then Mike and Juan Carlos took over my sophomore year, and those were great mentors to me, right? They always pushed me to be the man that they knew I could be. And then once I became a father, man, they just kept installing and making sure that was the father I could be, right? And I always asked him for advice, and he said, "Kid, keep doing what you're doing. You're a great father. You're doing great." And I would always go to school, check on my daughter, and he was always, you know, making sure that the resources I needed, it was being taken care of. But I was the first in my family to attend college. But at the end of the day, I'm not perfect. Made a mistake. Received a nonviolent offense felony, and we all know that once you receive that, it's like a mark.
Yeah,
really,
it's a stain. It's a stain on your on your. It's a blemish on you.
A blemish, you know?
It's something that you carry as a burden. Now I'm a felon. You know, now there's limitations. Now there's boundaries. There's so many. There's only so much things that I can do. You know, there's only so far as I can go.
It really changes your life, and once you get that felony, man, you really don't know what to do. And I remember the hurt in my parents' eyes. I remember the judge saying, "I'll see you again," and it broke me. And like I was telling you, you know, that's where it was more of, I got man up, or kick that door with the 2x4, or take the easy road out, right? And man, I kicked that door, and that's how I came across the Greening of Detroit, a nonprofit where I work at. And
the Greening of Detroit.
The Greening of Detroit.
Okay, that's in Corktown as well, right?
Their office was, now they're in Nichols.
Okay,
but our garage is right down 17th and Michigan. So I mean, I've been there 10 years, and they gave me the opportunity to go through their adult workforce program. And man, 10 years later, now I'm running the same program I went through, you know. And
that's what I love about the DHDC, because a lot of the staff members that are there today, they actually went through the program as you. So they learned the ins and outs, the politics, like they grew within the program. And then as they grew up, they ended up becoming staff members. And, you know, they become so invested in their time and their heart, their thoughts, their emotions, their ideas. Like all of these things are invested. You know what I'm saying? Where my job doesn't even feel like a job. It just feels like, you know, like a place where I like a headquarters for me to be able to live my life. You know what I'm saying? It's become a second home.
Man.
You know, and people don't really fully understand the challenges and the things that we go through as a felon. You know what I'm saying? Like there's many barriers. There's, you know, we get deprived of a lot of opportunities, you know, and privileges. But, you know, thank God I was given a second chance. You were given a second chance. You know what I'm saying? I got hired into the DHDC as a parolee after serving 17 years for a murder case. And, you know, but still I was able to share my story, be honest with them, and they believed in me. They gave me a second chance. They gave me an opportunity to prove myself. And I'm an absolute asset, you know what I'm saying, to the DHDC. You know what I'm saying? And they have contributed so much to my life.
Yes.
You know, and when I met you and you told me your story, bro, I just thought it was really amazing. I thought you were very, you know, deserving. You know what I'm saying? And I know that no matter win, lose, or draw, however this shit goes, bro, that you are who you are. And you're like me, you're a contributor, bro.
Yes.
Once I reached a point in my life that I was done with dancing with the devil, bro, that I was gonna be able to live my life according to what was righteous. You know what I'm saying? And do what was right. You know what I'm saying? Right my wrongs.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So when I see brothers like you, bro, putting yourself in a leadership position, because it's not about no clout. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even about money, because I'll tell you what, man, you put in a lot of work, a lot of time, you make a lot of sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? A lot of politicians, man, they be going through all kinds of trials and errors within their personal life so that they can devote and dedicate their lives to the community, to the well-being of humanity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And people just don't understand that. So I want people to fully understand the requirements and what it takes, the sacrifices that we make when we become leaders, because we accept responsibilities for being a voice and making decisions for not only ourselves and for our family, but for a community.
Yeah.
And everybody's not for you. You got a lot of people who are against you and don't agree with what you do. But as a leader, you still have to make a conscious decision. You know what I'm saying? Because what people want is they want results.
Exactly.
And it's because so many people have been lied to, they've been betrayed, they've been misled and misguided in things. You know what I'm saying? So they have a distrust, and that's why they see no value in voting, you know what I'm saying, and contributing, because they feel like, you know, they're just being sold a dream. I don't sell dreams, I don't buy dreams, and I don't contribute to people who sell dreams. I'm into making dreams become reality. You know what I'm saying? And I do it by my hard work, and I do it by being an example and showing that it's possible, because at the end of the day, I thought that what I was what I was always going to be. I was going to be a drug dealer, I was going to be a gang member, I was going to be a womanizer, all these things. And then God took hold of me, and he put the pressure on me, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he started to mold me. You know what I mean? I was molded by a community that misguided me. And then I got put in the dark until I had to fight for the light, bro. You know what I'm saying? You had to fight for the light, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got a second chance, you got an opportunity, bro. And it's coming with a lot of responsibility. People look like, oh, he want to be in city council. Why? Because there's perks in it. Maybe he's making money. Maybe he gets this. No, you have to be a giver, man. You have to be a contributor. You have to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? They sacrifice your time, your energy, your money. We got to put our own money into this business sometimes.
And lose a lot of things. A lot. I mean, you can lose friends, loved ones, relationships. I mean, you can lose kids. I mean, these are things that I've witnessed, you know, from other people. It's hard, this role, you know, in order to be a leader. I'm lucky enough to have a strong backbone, you know, with the family and with the parents, with the wife, with the kids, and all this. But if I didn't have that, you know how hard this run would be, because I'm telling you, it's not easy. It's not easy because and I know I was going through my story, and I'll go back to it with Project Clean Slate and all that. But being a leader, man, especially with baseball, you know, I coached baseball for 13 years, and being a leader there, watching the youth and men's league, you become almost like a social worker with those guys, because you got to lead them. You got to show them what respect is, how to carry yourself on that field, how to approach the game, teamwork, issues at home, leave it, you know, clear your mind, responsibility. I mean, there's so much into the game of baseball that a lot of people do not understand.
And it teaches life skills.
Life skills.
You learn life skills through sports.
Yes. And baseball is a game of failure, right? So if you're not able to pick yourself up from it, I mean, you can't get yourself up from anything. So a lot of people, what they do is they go in the funk or keep striking out, they give up, or they got bad attitudes. And as a coach, you got to teach them, hey, this game is a game of failure. You got to continue grinding and fighting and grinding and practicing, just like in life, right? So, I mean, you may be going through trials and tribulation, but you got to keep putting it in God's hands, or whoever you believe in, because at the end of the day, you're not going to get a load on you that you can't overcome. That's all I'm going to say. You got to really fight through it and continue to fight through it, because you're not going to get a load that you cannot overcome, right? And that's just like in the baseball game that I like, to coach. And then going back, to the green, and I manage returning citizens, disengaged youth. I help with the wraparound services. I help with the barriers to employment.
What are wraparound services? Like,
So,
what does that mean? Like, because people hear the term,
mhm,
but people don't really comprehend
yeah.
what that means.
So the wraparound services, I mean, you got conflict resolution. You have, for example,
Communication,
communication.
all kinds of life skills.
Yeah, life skills. So, for example, you came in and I say, hey, do you know how to do a resume? No, I do not. I'll help you build a resume. Hey, do you have a driver's license? So I'll build a folder on you, so that way we can start working on that wraparound service to either send you to Sir Metro for the GED or the HDC. You may have a program, so that way I could call you and say, hey, do you have a GED program or a robotics program for this person? This person's looking for an extra course. Do you have it?
We got all that. We got all that at the DHDC.
Exactly.
Come
So,
see us. We gonna look out for you.
Those wraparound services, man. I mean, we really take care of them, man, because
And it's crazy that you talk about that, because I learned how to do all these things while I was inside.
Yeah.
I took a bunch of life skill classes. Then I became a facilitator and started facilitating the same curriculum to people. I even started my own youth program in prison. You know what I'm saying? And I said, you know what? Because so many people feel like they can't make no real change until they get home. I said, bro, you got to make the change now. Once you're in prison, this is where the biggest challenges are, because you're suffocated with temptation. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't survive this, there ain't no way you're gonna be able to go home and make it, because there's so much temptation out there. You got women, you got money, you got cars, you got standards and expectations and all these things. I'm like, you got to build that strength, build that focus, and build that discipline now. So when you get home, you're not affected by everything that's out there.
And that's part of the wraparound services. Like if you're homeless or you're in need of food, care, babysitting, stuff like that. That's what wraparound services are, and that's what we need more in the district. So that way, it also eliminates barriers to employment. Barriers to employment could be getting to work, right? It could be transportation. It could be driver's license. It can be a blemish on your record. It can be man, I'm not sleeping at night, or I don't have food at the table, so I really can't focus at work. I mean, there's a lot of barriers to employment that a lot of people really don't understand that could be happening at home. Do you have a roof over your head, or are you sleeping outside? Like, these are things that actually happen through our program that I'm very experienced in, and that's what I'm trying to bring to the city council level, because you got to really understand what's happening in our district, what's happening in our city. I mean, we've dealt with mental illness, we have dealt with drug addiction, we have dealt with a lot of things. I mean, women being physically abused, kids or youth homeless, young ladies, being thrown out their house, and not eating. So you really got to understand our district, or what's going on at home, in order to address those issues, because some of these issues are not really addressed. So how can we address that, and how can we fix that? How can we get partnering organizations as city council, right, to help these needs in order to address that issue, especially mental illness? I was watching a documentary, and that's something that goes on in the family that it really hurts me, because we've seen that 47% in the United States is schizophrenic, right? 49% is bipolar and is not treated. Now the pandemic hit, it could be higher. But these are things that we really got to look into, because it's affecting, and also drug addiction. These are things that we really have to look at. Being born and raised in Southwest Detroit, walking from Western, Earhart, and Mayberry, I mean, walking right there on Toledo, Lansing, Vernon, McKen Street, Clark, Scotton, Clarkdale. I mean, walking through these neighborhoods, right? I know what it is to really, what do you say, kill, be killed, or really hold your ground, because at the end of the day, you will get tried, right? It's up to you to really either hold your ground or run, right? So
Yeah, because the situation was very life threatening back then. You had gang territory, you had drug territory, so you had to be related to some, to some people who were recognized. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
you were at an everyday risk. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And even especially for tourists. Because Mexican town, we used to get a lot of tourists that used to come from Canada,
Yep.
but a lot of them quit wanting to come because they were getting carjacked, their cars were getting broken into, they were getting robbed, things were getting stolen, and things like that. And it was like, man, it just puts a blemish and a stain on our people as a whole. Like, what is your nationality?
Puerto Rican.
Oye, so tú eres boricua, tú
Boricua,
eres el
Boricua,
taíno, mi gente.
Boricua, Taíno, Boricua.
You know,
Um,
and a lot of people have some misconception about division between Mexican, Cuban, Puerto Rican. Like, bro, listen, them days are old,
Yeah.
man. Today we are all humans. You know what I'm saying? We are all brothers. We are united as Latino people. We are not racist. We love black. We love white. We love Arab. We love Asian because we are humans. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to Southwest Detroit, like to me, that's just a melting pot of people of many cultures who have come together. We've learned to strive and struggle and move forward together and thrive in small battles. You know what I'm saying? We haven't won the battle, but we win in, we haven't won the war, but we win in battles.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And brothers like you who are running for city council for District 6, that's a big win, not just for yourself, but for us. You know what I'm saying? Because we've always had to have other people tell us how to live our lives, what's best for us, how much money we should get, how much rent we should pay, what our conditions should be like, and things like that, setting standards for us. No, we are people with a voice, with a strong voice, you know what I'm saying, with devotion, with dedication. Somos gente de corazón. You know what I'm saying? We have skill trades. We're very intelligent. We are very educated when we want to apply ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But we got a lot of people that we got to reach out to, bro. We got to pull out of the mud because they have so much skill. They have so much potential. You know what I'm saying? They have so much intelligence. It's just we got to help them cultivate that.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's so easy to be negative, bro. Like, bro, when I came home, I had so many opportunities to do the right thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, you know what? I had made my mind up, bro. I got tired of disappointing myself. I got tired of hurting my family and disappointing my family. You know what I'm saying? And I started holding myself accountable for the direction in which my life was going in. You know what I'm saying? I said, I don't want to live like this no more, bro. I want to do better. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think that the change that I went through was possible, bro. But once I went through the transition, I embraced it. I embraced the change and I continue to do it, bro. And I have thrived. You know what I'm saying? And me thriving, look what I created. I created a podcast that creates a platform for people like you and me to be able to share our stories, to make change and bring about peace and love and unity within our community and span out to all urban communities and communities in general with understanding and show that there is strength in unity. You know what I'm saying? There was so many elements that divided us, whether it was drugs or gangs and violence and not standards, but damn, what do you call it? Just putting people in categories. You know?
Yeah. And that's why you're a true leader, man, for doing this. And like you're saying, man, I went through 2 years ago. I went through Project Clean Slate, and that's where my whole life changed. And after I seen that judge that said, "I'll see you again," I said, "Honor, I remember the exact words that he said. You'll see me again." And now it's to hopefully get this expungement. And he said, it's my highest honor to give you a expungement. And
that's dope.
man, I seen the happiness in my parents' eyes, my wife's eyes. We all started crying, and the courtroom was clapping. Nobody knows me, but it looked like the party. And I think the judge couldn't come down due to protocol, but he said, I can't hug you due to protocol or something. But I was just emotional, and that's where I knew my life is about to change. And
that's powerful.
Then
bro.
I was invited to the bill signing for 80,000 other individuals for Project Clean Slate, and with the Lieutenant Governor, and Mayor Duggan, to go and see the bill signing, and I was going to go speak, and I seen so many people tune in, and that's where I said, you know what? Just looking at them, and I said, it's time for me to run and really fight with everything that I got for a city that's never turned its back on me.
That's cold, boy. That is cold, boy.
And it's time for me to take it to the next level for my community, for my district, and not just for Southwest, but the 8 zip codes that's in the district, and really bring that unity, that diversity back, and show that they have a public servant that is going to be next to them, that is going to be down and dirty with them, not just in a suit and tie, that's going to wear the baseball jersey or whatever he's got to wear, and go and pick up this blight with the community, and if I gotta do it alone, that's what I gotta do. But at the end of the day, so they can have that faith and restore that, because trust is gonna take a long time. Trust is hard to get again, but to have that faith and their public servant to say, man, we actually got somebody that has not forgot about us, and really be that voice for those that feel left out, right? The forgotten areas, 217, 04, and the other parts that feel forgotten. I mean, we got 8 zip codes, and at the end of the day,
and so listen, so if you win this election, bro, you're gonna be responsible for all 8 of them zip codes,
yes,
bro.
sir.
That is not an easy job
No.
because you become a mediator now. You're a liaison between the people and the politics and the people who are in charge of making change and making
Yes.
policies and changing rules and regulations and
Yes.
policing and all these types of things.
Yes.
That's not an easy job.
No.
And for so many years, we've had to have other people tell us how to live our lives, what was right, what was wrong, new policy procedures for our people. But you know what? We can police ourselves. That's why I said it's so unfortunate that we got to see speed bumps in the middle of our roads because we can't govern ourselves. So we got to have a government come in and restructure our community because we don't know how to act. Because we got to speed down the streets. Because we're reckless and careless about the kids and community and our neighbors and things like that. But when I know brothers like me and you and so many others are moving forward and contributors to economy and business and well-being and health and all these types of things, bro, like, I salute them. You know what I'm saying? And I support them in any and every way, bro. But I tell you what, we on fire right now, but we're going to have to cool down for a 2-minute intermission, man. Huh? What? Not yet. Production team ain't ready, so we got to keep going. It's all good. This real everyday people, y'all. That's how we get down. It is what it is. Nothing is politically correct, but give it to us, Hector.
But hey, I'll add on to what you're saying. Door knocking. I mean, you really see about the speed humps. People flying down the streets. I've actually witnessed it, and I told whoever's watching, really put yourself in situations where it could be your daughter trying to walk or across the street, or
your dog,
pet,
your cat,
because I was at a animal event, with Jessica Miller and all them. You gotta understand, these are babies too. These are our kids too. So you gotta look at animals as kids too. So you hit one of those, or you hit one of our kids or family members that could open the door. You could really take somebody's life. So slow down. Public safety. I grew up on Toledo and Lansing, so I'm part of seeing, decapitations, getting shot right in front of me, people getting stabbed at the Cinco de Mayo parades. I mean,
it's just crazy how we normalize unlawful living lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And that's like living in what's the damn name of the movies where they live like, damn, you know what the hell I'm talking about? Damn, whatever, man. Just outlaws, you know what I'm saying? Period.
Because I mean, you get so accustomed to it that it feels okay, right? But at the end of the day, that's why it's more about putting satellite offices, helping our police officers get to these scenes more quicker, right? Making sure we're holding them accountable too, and making sure that more people from the community are part of our police department. And also, if they use that force, in the police department, you're with your people, holding them accountable for it. But at the end of the day, we do need our public safety, right? And making sure that they have the resources as well to get to that crime scene quicker than, like, for example, I don't know if you've seen that the news clip at Michigan Martin, where the burger place called 3 times.
3 times?
Okay. 3 times, and they didn't show up, right? So these are things that happen in our district that we need to change, and that's something that, if elected, I'm going to try to change. Bringing jobs, working on workforce development, education, robotics program, and
but so many of our people, they need to be taught that
Mhm.
that not only the work ethics,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, but the value in work.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because all of us always felt like, like one of my challenges and barriers where I had kids when I was young. So now I owe child support. I didn't want to work because I wasn't educated. I didn't make enough money. And then the little money that I was going to make, you were going to take from me for child support.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to live as an outlaw. I'm going to live underground. I'm going to sell drugs and I'm going to live how I can so I get all my money.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But we got to break out of that mentality and show the value in work ethics and paying off your debts to society, no matter in any form. You know what I'm saying? But listen, we definitely gonna come back, bro, and we're gonna build some more. We're gonna let them know who you are, where you from, you know what I'm saying, and all that good stuff. So thank you for staying tuned. We'll be back. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the El Nino podcast. I'm Eladio Nino, and this is Real Everyday People. I want to thank everybody for staying tuned in, for watching, for sharing, for subscribing, for supporting. Thank you. I appreciate you. Big shout out to my brother Zoe, man, at LA Landscaping. Holler at him for all your landscaping needs. He's a professional. He takes care of his business. Big shout out to Guy's Pizza over there in Lincoln Park. Shout out to Classics Barber Shop. Shout out to Legendary Barber Lounge, my man Jimmy the Barber and BY. And, to all my brothers doing their thing, Jose Rivera, District 313 clothing line, like everybody's doing their thing. I got so much love, so much respect. I'm saluting everybody. I'm supporting everybody. Let's keep it moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to my man, DJ Dan, Jose Del Valle, DJ Pup. Them boys taking care of their business. We got the first annual Detroit Freestyle Festival coming up. Get your tickets. It's going to be all the way live, man. We doing our thing. Sponsored by El Nino Podcast. Absolutely. We on deck, and we going to be doing our things. And then we got the Trap Music Corrido Festival coming up. Shout out to my man Sombra, the Southwest Mexicans. Shout out to my man Manny doing all the photography. We building, baby. We all doing our thing, man. And so we gonna get back to my man Hector Santiago and his story, everything that he been through, where he been, where he at, and where he headed.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. So back to it. I think Kaya left off with the public safety, but really in those 8 zip codes, you asked earlier, that's a big responsibility, but part of it is really putting a satellite office. I tell everybody that I door knock, putting a satellite office in each zip code and letting them know that I'll be accessible to them. And that way they feel comfortable with seeing me at least there, and not to have to go downtown all the time and say, man, where's Hector Santiago at, if elected, or especially helping those senior citizens, as well, because you really got to think about, if elected, like, man, abuelita, you know what I'm saying? What we got to do for them. So that's how I'm treating this campaign, family wise. This campaign is second chance ran, so that's what's all about, man. That's how I'm running this campaign. And like I said, bringing jobs, resources, eliminating barriers, adding on to that workforce development.
And what about immigrants though? In our community, because we have many immigrants in our community. Yes. Like what resources are there for them to be able to be successful and thrive and not be separated from families, or to not be victimized and harassed? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Like what is there for them? Because a big part of our community evolves around them.
That's a great question. And I've been having conversations with other people too. A great community leader that I've been talking with, if elected, is trying to make Southwest a safe haven, right? Where we're talking to our local police officers, instead of separating them from families, making sure they stay at home. Yes, give them a court case or whatever, but make sure you're not separating them so they feel comfortable that they're not going to be separated from their families. We got to continue to make sure families are not split away, because that's the hardest thing. We all seen it on TV, right? Mm-hmm. How people, I had neighbors in front get separated, and that's the hardest thing you can ever see in your life. Seeing kids cry, seeing their parents just being ripped away from their arms, and getting the resources too. When I was collecting signatures and all this, they say, we don't have ESL, programs. We don't have this, we don't have that. How can you help us get residency? So these are ways that I need to really communicate with the HDC, right? ESL program and other organizations that have it, so that way we can really get them going in through these programs. Because when I went to Western, I graduated from there. That's something we had, ESL programs and all of this. And a lot of these parents, they say, I'm trying to look for an ESL program, or somewhere where I can learn the English, but I can't find it. So,
Even getting a GED.
man, GED, yes,
You
that's
know, it's
huge.
very important,
Yes.
you know, because that creates more opportunity.
Mhm.
And when you come to the DHDC, we provide so many different
Yes.
services for youth, for adults. We're
Yes.
talking about GED, we're talking about ESL. For people who don't know what ESL, it's English as a second language, meaning that we teach people who don't know how to speak English so well, they teach them the language. Shout out to Liliana Torres and Juan Alfaro and my man Armando, who work in the housing and the ESL department. Like, you know, we provide robotics programs, technology design. We got photography, we got videography, we do music, we do and so much more. We got meditation rooms, healing stuff. But these are things that we contribute to the community. These are resources, and it really gives the, you know, now that things, you know, the pandemic is kind of, you know, going away and things are starting to slowly but surely get back to normal. You know, we really do a big service to families because a lot of them are able, like we pick the kids up, the youth from schools. So when parents are still at work, they know they're in a safe place, they're being protected, they're in programming, they're learning, they're being productive, you know, they're being fed, they're being taken care of, you know, and stuff like that. And we do all that at the DHDC. So when you told me what you're doing and what your mission was, I was like, bro, that is our everyday mission, is to be contributors. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I wanted you to come. I wanted you to meet everybody at work, because I just thought that it was a good idea for you to be able to meet everybody, because this is how we network and create resources that can get the job done.
Absolutely. And really bringing all those resources together, right? If elected, like I was telling you, you know, those other zip codes in the district that don't have those resources or the opportunity for those youth building out, you know, like DHDC or Southwest Solutions or Sir Metro or the Greening or other, you know, nonprofits and stuff like that, we're able to expand there and continue helping those youth, you know, with apprentices, with robotic programs, with a lot of ways so that we can keep them out of trouble, because they are our future. At the end of the day, I had sports to keep me out of trouble. Right now, you have a lot of schools shutting down, and like for example, my daughter is at Western as a senior, and you go in there, it's almost 2,000 kids, man, because all these schools closed down and these teachers are overwhelmed. So it's all about, you know, making sure that after school they have these after school programs. They can go and play sports. You know, when I was growing up, we had Boys and Girls Club, we had YMCA. So we need to really bring back these park and recs, these YMCAs, these Boys and Girls Club, baseball tournaments. We had ping pong tournaments. I mean, a lot of resources, basketball tournaments, back to the city, to our district, because we've really lost focus on that. And you know, as a father, all you see, a lot of kids is technology and phones now, right? If you want to keep your kid kind of controlled, here goes the iPad or PlayStation 4. And I always told, and I always mess with some of my baseball team, and shout out to my daughters, hey, love y'all. I said to one of my kids that play baseball, I said, you're learning your swing from your PlayStation 4 or your Xbox. You know, you're not actually going to the batting cages because you're trying to learn it, you know, in that motion stick. And that's what our technology is bringing now. So we really got to get out that and really bring those resources back so they get out of trouble, right?
Tell me something. What separates you from everybody else? Because we talked about, you know, so many people are accustomed to politicians. They get there, they tell you what you want. They're in the neighborhood, they're kissing babies, they're hugging everybody. I love you, everybody. I'm here. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna save the world. Yeah, we're gonna vote for him. And then after you vote for him, then you don't even see the guy no more. He ain't in the community. He ain't eating that El Nacimiento no more. Mi Pueblo, none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there, where'd he go? He came and just sold everybody a dream. You know what I'm saying? But like, how do you change that perspective of people, of politics, for people to be able to believe in you and see a difference in you and see, you know, because you got David Sanchez, he's very charismatic. You got Gabriela Santiago Romero. She's running too. A lot of people believe in her and support her, and you know, especially females. You know what I'm saying? So like, what is it that separates you from everybody else, and how, if that is the truth, like, how do you get through to not only the youth, but to women voters, and just to the community, the immigrant voters, and you know, everybody else who is important, because so many people feel like they don't have a voice. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, that's a great question, you know, and my hat's off to everybody that's in this race. We all know.
Absolutely. I salute all of y'all for sure.
Hard task in front of us, you know, it takes a lot out of us, but at the end of the day, What separates me is when I knock doors, I tell them the truth. What I call it is and they laugh with me. I call them bad church members. They come around every 4 years for your vote, right? And all the residents crack up with me because I use my church experience. When they would come to church to ask my dad for a donation to pay rent or a bill, that's how some politicians are. They'll come every 4 years. You'll never see them again. And then every 4 years they'll come, hey, come vote for me and kiss the babies, like you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
I assure that I'm not here to sell you no dreams, no rainbows. I mean, you're going to hold me accountable. And as a public servant, you have to hold me accountable, right? And at the end of the day, you're not going to see me every 4 years. You're going to see me in the communities. You're going to see me in the satellite office. You're going to see me down dirty with these cleanup in the zip codes. What separates me is, too, I've lost everything in my life. And I have fought all my way back. I know what it is to not have food on the table. I know what it is to have $5 or $10 in my pocket, put $5 for gas and $5 for a loaf of bread, bologna and cheese, and feed my family for a week. I know what it is to actually get how can I say and with all respect, but I know what it is.
Tell the truth, baby. We ain't politically correct. This real everyday people. We've been through the shit, bro.
When this finally happened, I know what it is to get looked at and get laughed at and say you'll never become nothing in your life. And I heard it. And the day that felony came off, that's where I said, I'm never, ever in my life gonna go back to feeling like my hands are tied, right?
Inferior. You feel inferior. You don't feel equal anymore.
Exactly.
Bro, when I was in prison and I was told I would never vote again, and I'm like, damn, I'll never, and I've evolved. I've changed as a responsible adult, as a citizen, and I'm like, damn, I'm actually feeling deprived because I didn't value it before, so it didn't mean anything. But as I grew up and learned that I have a voice and that it's important to vote, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, I'll never be able to do it. And then because of people prior to us who were fighting the fight, you know what I'm saying? People who sacrificed their time, their money, their efforts, education and all that, who fought for things to change. And when I came home, I was able to vote. I voted last year for the first time in my life. That was very empowering for me. You know what I'm saying? To know that my society believed in me and gave me a second chance and entrusted in me to be able to make a conscious decision and give me my voice back.
Absolutely.
And you know what the biggest thing is that I respect is because you just do not know what you got until you don't have it anymore. Like they take everything. When I went to the MDOC, they take your underwear, your socks, you're left there butt naked, and they make you bend over. You know what I'm saying? And cough. You know what I mean? So with everything after that, you got to earn your underwear back. You got to earn your socks back. And everything after that, I was grateful for because I've been stripped of everything. You know what I'm saying? Your dignity, your pride, and everything. You know what I mean?
Family whenever they feel like it. And I felt like being able to call your family and whenever they feel like it, I've never ever want to go back to that again. And like I said, I know what it is to lose everything. I've lived in the district my whole life. I didn't well, it's in the back, but
stand up, show them what's on the back, baby. You paid for it, utilize it. Shit, there you go.
Lived experience, real results. Because
what is it? Lived experience and real results. Why is that the motto? I like it.
Everything I've encountered in life, I can relate to everybody I door knock. They'll ask me, hey, what have you been through? I'm not perfect because everything I've gone through, they've gone through, so I can relate. So that's what makes me a different candidate. Because I know what it is to go through a court system and fight for your daughters and get full and sole custody and what you have to do in order to really make sure your kids are taken care of. I know what it is to really fight for your life, and a lot of people don't understand that when you're growing up, you only got a split second in our city or in our district or where we live at to make the right decision or not. And it's tough to walk away. That's what makes me different. God has changed me. I will say that. But at the end of the day, when you have parents that really showed you what it is to really humble yourself and really not have food on the table, and you can see that other person and you can relate and say, hey, I know what you're going through here, instead of dictate. That's what makes me the public servant that you need for your district, because at the end of the day, I know what we're encountering. I mean, I know what it is when you need a roof, repair something at the house. I know what it is when you're struggling to pay a bill. I know what it is to really have to walk, because you really don't have the money to purchase a car when it breaks down, or purchase gas. So you have to walk to work, or
You need help. You need assistance. You need resources.
And having family that has had to go through food stamps and really not understanding, man, we're just blessed to make it. Yeah, you're getting assistance, but you're barely making it. And getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, yeah, okay, I'm here, but it's just to make it. And that's why I'm different, because I've never been handed anything. I have had to fight from like you said, from the mud to where I'm at. So 10 years ago, I thought I was done. I thought I was really rendido, like we say, done. And now to be here today talking with you and talking with a lot of people that I've talked to, just to say that I'm running for Detroit City Council has changed my whole life, because at the end of the day, a lot of people really didn't see me as a public servant. They see me as a leader, as wherever I worked at, or baseball, or in church, teaching Sunday school, or helping my dad, because I used to play instruments and all that, or the drums and timbales. But at the end of the day, becoming this public servant, I understand our issues. I understand where I need to attack, and being transparent.
It's important. It's vital. It's
do.
vital to your success, and it's vital, and it's vital to the connection that you make with the people. You know what I'm saying? Because people are very skeptical of what you say. You know what I'm saying? Of the politics, of the hidden agendas and things like that. People are skeptical, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it comes from a big distrust and a disconnect from government and regular, society. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are ignorant to the facts. But when they see the end results and they're like, damn, I'm getting shafted, I'm getting the short end of the stick, they sold me a dream. You know what I'm saying? So now either people feel like their vote doesn't mean anything, or they feel like it's just not going to change anything. And one of the things that I respect most about you, bro, that I believe in the most, is you have to be the change that you want to see. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to set the example. You have to show people that it is possible and that you can beat the odds. You know what I'm saying? And you got more people with you and for you, but I'll tell you what, you got to be able to meet me in the middle. I can't live your life for you, man. I'm willing to aid and assist and help you, encourage you, empower you, educate you. But at the end of the day, if you don't have it in your spirit or in your will to want to change, then you got some more things that you need to go through. You know what I'm saying?
Just to add on too, and my wife and my parents, we were door knocking, and this is another reason why I'm a different candidate. There was a gang, a few. I'm the type of person that I'll come talk to anybody. Whoever knows me, they know Hector will talk to anybody. I don't care if you're in a group. I don't care. I'm gonna walk up to you, and whoever seen my flyer, this is how I got them. Every single one. The time I walk up, I say, hey, that's not Big Pun, that's me. They all start cracking up, okay? They start cracking up. And that's how I start the conversation. And by the end of the conversation, they're like, man, thank you. Because any other politician would have walked that way. Nobody really engages us. And at the end of the day, that's why I'm different, because I engage everybody. And I'm going to bring that the diversity, that unity and diversity back to our district, because that's what we need. We really need our whole district together. Like I was telling you, really bringing our organizations, all the resources together, if elected, making that advisory board, council board, that when elected, bringing everybody together at the table, and we're talking and talking about the issues that's going on, what issues we can really fix, what can you house in at the DHDC, what can you house over here, so that way the resources around the district is getting handled, and those issues are being eliminated, because at the end of the day, that's the way we can eliminate a lot of these issues, because we have to work together. And I always said, you have to work together, because divided we fall. That's how I feel. United we conquer, divided we fall. And that's what I always say.
I don't look at anybody like they my competition, bro. You know what I'm saying? I look at everybody like we are just thriving. I'm willing to support you. I'm willing to promote. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to help you. I don't believe in that crab in a bucket theory. You know what I'm saying? People live like that in their head because they selfish, because they try to pursue their own goals and their own dreams. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But if I can help and contribute to you getting there, help to your business, to the success of your business, your mission, your agenda, I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you what, ever since that, bro, I've been thriving, and all the people around me have been thriving, not only just in my professional life, but in my personal life, bro. You know what I'm saying? And being real is the biggest quality. You know what I'm saying? Because you just got too many people out there selling dreams, bro. And like I said, that creates a distrust. But I need to know that you got my best interests at heart, that you're really concerned about my well-being. And not only that, but you're able to show me that you came from where I came from, and you're able to overcome all those things and be where you're at today. You know? I'm so proud that you got to feel good to say, hey, I'm Hector Santiago and I'm running for City Council of District 6. That sounds so good, so powerful, so professional. Me, I used to have to be like, hey, I'm Prisoner Nino, number 407555. Now I'm like, no, I'm Eladio Nino. I'm a youth mentor. I work at the DHTC. I'm also running the El Nino podcast. Come holler at me. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like this, all day.
Together.
You know, I got a family that loves me, supports me. They keep me grounded. I pray daily. I just got a wonderful support system, bro. And at the end of the day, bro, I went through a transition that changed my life, and I never want to look back, bro. You know,
family's a big key, man. And during this run, that's what really has been pushing me too. You know, my family, my wife, knocking doors with me, my kids, they really have
that's
my
beautiful.
back. So that's what makes me different as well. I understand what family issues is, what I really need to help in order to really dive into for I can help your family in need. So in this run, man, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my family too, having my back, being that backbone. My wife and myself knocking these doors, my campaign team and my kids, you know. Right now, my daughter, she's, I think, in Pennsylvania. She's trying to do some JROTC. You've seen the pictures. With
the JROTC,
you know?
You said you was quite a hot shot with Junior ROTC.
Yeah. Me and my wife, we went to a few events, and you know, I used to spin the rifles and all that, and I had to show off for my daughter, and it was just great, you know, being able to go down to Virginia or Kentucky and being able to help Western, you know, and help them do their drills, and just seeing the passion my daughter had, you know, being able to go to Western and just watch the baseball game sometime and support, you know, the coaches that helped me get here as well. You know, I always tell the coaches, you know, and Juan Carlos especially, thank you for really being that mentor, that figure that I needed to really push me through when I was going through trials and tribulations.
And sometimes we have mentors like that can get through us even better than our own parents. You know, a lot of our parents, they only focus on disciplining, telling us what to do. But then when we have mentors, they show us how to do things better. They explain things to us. You know, sometimes your parents, they just focus on management. You know what I'm saying? Do as I do, not as I say. Do as I say, not as I do. You know what I mean? And we grew up with that kind of mentality.
We did.
And that's why I said I salute so much of the generation today, because they ask a lot of questions. They want answers. And the more the more that you discover, the more truth that you discover. You know what I'm saying? And your journey of trying to find the truth. And then from that, then you could start to heal. You could start to rebuild, because now you have understanding. Now you have education of things. You know what I'm saying? I started to educate myself when I was in prison. I quit looking at myself like a prisoner, and I quit telling myself I was in prison, and I started telling myself I'm a student and I'm going to college. And I immediately, my whole transition changed to where I was learning every day something about myself, something about life, something about education, curriculum, people, places, things, all those things. You know what I'm saying? From a system, from a place in a system that was created to suffocate my mind, my spirit, my body, something that was created to kill me. You know what I'm saying? I came, I saw, I conquered, I'm here, and I'm moving forward. Not just me, but everybody around me.
And man, you just reminded me of the conversation we were having, you know, here in not just in the city or just in or in the district, in our community, right? When I came and told you, I really had a vision for this campaign, you know, because us in our district, in our community, Latinos in general, we really don't know what financial literacy is. We really don't know what work readiness is. We really don't know what apprenticeship is. We really don't know what robotics is or documentaries, right? So when I was talking to you the first time, I said, man, I really want to show our people in our district what it takes to run a campaign, a documentary. You know, if it's not with me, but one day just make a documentary of what it takes a campaign, so those can see what it takes to run a campaign, because those that really do want to run for office and live in our community, that live in District 6 or wherever in the city, you can do this too. Don't let nobody ever tell you can't, because that means they can't do it, so they're trying to push you down. So at the end of the day, you don't understand what I had to go through to be here today. They're going to tell you, no, you can't do it. You absolutely can.
Slam doors on you.
Big time. I want to make a documentary, Lord willing, to show you guys what it takes to the ins and outs, what it takes to run a campaign, how hard it is. So that way you have the mentality and are prepared in order. So when you're running, you're ready to go, right? What fundraising is, what phone calling is, what door knocking is, how do you talk to people? You know, because a lot of people are going to say, man, you might not be polished enough. But at the end of the day, you're the people's politician. You got to understand this. You got to communicate with the people, and they're going to see the fluff. They're going to see the BS in you. So if you try to tell them a story and BS yourself, they're going to look at you and say, man, close the door on you. Because at the end of the day, I remember I had a resident, and I'll make this story quick. I went to knock at one of these areas, and I said, excuse me, sir, can I give you one of my flyers? I said, what's your name? He said, Door. I said, okay, how can I open the door and give you the flyer? And he goes, well, my name is Door. I said, well, I'm trying to open the door to give you the flyer, Mr. Door. And he started cracking up. He goes, man, you don't get flustered or nothing like that? I said, no, I'm just trying to open the door so you can see me pun. Starts cracking up. He goes, well, other politicians, we got flustered and left. I see you got a sense of humor. I said, you know, when you go to Western, that's what we do. We pop jokes and continue. So that's how they try to get on you to see if you're really a people's person or not.
And not only that, it's called Western International.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like adding international to the name makes a big difference, because international means diversity. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though Southwest Detroit is acknowledged and recognized as a Latino population, we are diverse. Even within the Latino population, we are diverse. You know what I'm saying? But not only that, but we can get along. We can speak everybody's languages, and that's why we're able to get further, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I learned what I was capable of and how to articulate myself when I was at the table with different people, and it just came very natural. I was able to speak everybody's language. And that's one thing that we have, because so many other communities are not diverse. They can't go anywhere and everywhere and speak everybody's language. You know what I'm saying? So that's a benefit that we have, bro. You know?
I mean, for example, Western International High School, most diverse school, right? That's how I see this district, most diverse district. So every time I knock, I say, hey, this is just like Western International High School. We got the most diverse district, most diverse high school. And at the end of the day, you know, knowing your areas, you know, yes, you got your Latino population, you got your African American, and you got your Arabic. You got different kind of race in every single
and
district.
culture.
Yeah. In every single different zip code. So you got to know and adjust, right? And at the end of the day, you got to be able to connect with all of them, okay? Not just certain part. as a politician, you know, and I don't like saying as a politician, as a public servant, because at the end of the day, I'm your voice. And like I told you, we're running. I'm not running. We are all running. And when I get there, we all got there, and I'm going to stand my hand, and we're all united, going to take over the district, basically, I say, you know, because at the end of the day, yes, I'm your voice, but at the same time, we're all making sure that the changes are happening together, right? And yes, I'm there to make sure that, you know, we're not getting taken advantage of, making sure the policies are right, making sure the budget's right, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, it's making sure that we're all united. You said diversity. My big saying is, and those that follow me on Facebook, I put unity is strength, diversity is power.
Ooh, I like that.
My thing.
That's
right
cold. That's powerful, bro.
You know, I'm trying to print out my next jersey because that gives me chills, because a lot of people don't understand that how strong that word is. That's our district. That's how strong our district is. We can be the most powerful district in the city and continue to build to become the best city out of the United States, but we got to push together. We got to become one. Unido, somos uno, right? And that's what I feel that we can do.
One for all and all for one.
I see it, you know, and I love to say, man, I mean, just meeting all different kind of cultures, man.
I just love the direction that Southwest is going in, bro.
Yeah.
Because they're touching up on everything, bro.
Yes.
You know, before we were just known for, you know, carjacking, stealing, gangs, violence, drugs, all that. But now it's the place to be. You want to be in Corktown. You want to be in Mexican Town. You want to be on Burner. You want to try out Dooley's. You want to go to El Nacimiento. You got to go stop by Mi Pueblo. You want to go to these places and feel safe and feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And I think that that's great. It's wonderful, even for me, because me doing damn near 20 years in prison, I'm thinking I'm coming back to the same 1990s, you know, Southwest Detroit that I knew. You got to be color coordinated. You got to wear your hats at, and lock your doors and keep a strap on you and all that. Like, I don't, bro. I don't have to do any of that no more. And I see so much diversity, black, white, Latino, Arab, and enjoying Southwest Detroit, you know what I'm saying? And contributing and supporting businesses and opening businesses and things like that. Like, I love to be able to see that, bro.
Yes, and I mean, let's continue building it strong, you know, and adding those resources, the same that we have in Southwest, moving it on to those that are not fortunate in the rest of the district, right? That's my plan. And maybe taking, like I was going to talk to Nacimiento, hey, let's take the 217. Let's have a Mexican restaurant over there, because that way, or Columbo's or Dooley's, so that way they can get some extra snow on top of their coney dogs, because that's my favorite, getting 2 coney dogs with extra snow on top. You know, hey.
I like family treats personally. You know what I'm saying? That's my little spot,
you know,
up in there.
And I mean, the business.
You know, I got to add sun in it.
Yeah, but those business owners, man, you know,
that's why we built like this now,
because they're all family orientated too. You know, from Nacimiento to Rincon to Lopez Tires to, I mean, Los Altos, Mi Pueblo, everybody.
Man, we got a lot of giants
all around the district, man. I appreciate you all. You guys really showed how strong we are as a district during the pandemic, and let's continue to build, man.
And what I love, bro, is that you are in tune with the community, bro. Like, that's one of the things, our biggest asset is like they say, your net worth is according to your network. You know what I'm saying? And like, bro, I met brothers like Miguel Reyes, like EJ from the Culture Creators, just meeting brothers just everywhere, bro, across the board, who are doing positive. You know, I'm talking about from DJing to promoting to singing to entertaining to dancing to, you know, running for city council. Like, everybody, man, is just moving forward. And I just want to get everybody to be able to network with each other. I'm not saying everybody got to be best friends and hold hands, but if we can all be in the same building together, bro, and make some shit happen, like, that's worth more than gold. You know what I'm saying? Because in today's society, man, sometimes you got to fight for peace, man, but once you get there, it's all worth it, though. You know what I'm saying? It shows the strength and the value and the morality, you know what I'm saying, in our community and us as individuals and us as a whole.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely, man. And like you were saying, you know, perfect example is like that YMCA building, you know, looking into that and really trying to build or get some building like that where we have all of our resources in one building and make sure that the communities have something like that where they could go to one place and make sure that everything is in one building where they can feel like, dang, this is where it's just a one stop and drop, right? And continue to go home and you know, things like that that we were talking about, that we know what we need, because I mean, being raised there, man, you really know what we need, but now it's time to implement it, right? And really move forward. But wow, yeah, I mean,
Are you fluent with Spanish as well?
sí.
Okay, and that's very good, because that's very necessary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially to be able, so that really breaks down barriers and builds bridges for you, because you're able to connect with the community. Because we have, you know, we are a community of immigrants and a lot of people that, you know, don't speak English as well. You know what I mean? And you're able to communicate with them. That's an asset. You know what I'm saying? That puts you, you know, ahead of most people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
I mean, something that I've learned, you know, it's and English actually was my second language, right? And Spanish, growing up in a Spanish household, there's always hay que aprender español y después inglés y después, and then after it's like, you know, I worked, you know, shout out to Mike and Hassan and all those guys. They started teaching me Arabic, you know, salam alaikum and all this, and then I would get the beard, and you know, for a minute there, you know, I was really fluent, you know, with them, you know, learning it. And thank you guys for.
And you look like a Habibi too, damn. You look like your name was Muhammad.
But you know, it's really in tuning yourself to really understand a culture, really take them in, and really, I mean, connect, man. And I really love those guys. They really had me part of their family, and I still continue to reach out and say I love you guys, because they were really part of my family. And when I was going through trials and tribulations, when I went through that process, they were there. And I mean, yeah.
How about fatherhood? Because you got what? You got two daughters? What's fatherhood like for you, bro?
Having two daughters.
Coño, pero qué cosa es eso?
Always saying, having two daughters, it's hard, you know, but at the same time, you know, for a minute there, being a single father, it's tough. I mean, I've leaned to friends, and if you're out there, you know, and listening, thank you for loaning me money for diapers, loaning me money for wipes. You know, I'm not ashamed to say it. For formula. I mean, these are things that I've experienced. Having two daughters, man, it's not easy. And then now seeing the one is turning 18 on July 5th, and the other one just turned 13 on Memorial. It's like, wow, you know, seeing them grow up.
You know, we hear so many stories about women raising boys to be men, but you hardly ever hear about the stories of men that raise girls to be women. You know what I'm saying? And like, how difficult is it as a man to be able to teach girls about womanly things? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like it would be a challenge, you know?
Definitely was, especially with my oldest. First, you know, the feminine part.
Yeah, it's not always comfortable. I can't imagine it be, you know.
But, you know, around that time, you know, I was blessed to receive my wife and met her. And we got married, and she really stepped in as a stepmother, but became a real great mom to my daughters. And I thank her for that. She really helped me through those barriers, but she was able to really assist them with those.
Give you some
know,
balance.
Yeah. The woman
part of things,
you know, because as a father, you know, you really try to do your best, being a single father, but at the same time, I would ask my mom, you know, hey mom, how would I do this? Or, you know, abuela is always, or grandma is going to be there. And I thank you, you know, gracias mami, papi, and everybody that helped me with my daughters. But at the same time, you know, all you want to do as a father is give them a better life that you have, right? Making sure that they are raised right, and make sure that they make it to 18 and you're able to be proud of it. And now I have one that's about to turn 18, and she's doing her thing, and I'm happy as a father that I was able to be a big part of her life and see her transform to be where she's at today. And the other one that loves dancing and playing softball when we go hit, and doing this, that, and the other, art. Makeup. She tried to do makeup on me and with Liz and stuff, but it's just having fun, you know, with your kids. Enjoy your kids because you don't know when they will leave home with a blink of an eye, right? Like I say, I just seen them when they were crawling, and now
They
one is
running.
18. You know,
They
and,
running.
just enjoy your time, man. Enjoy your time because it does go quick. And I mean, having two daughters too, it's very difficult because you gotta keep the boys off. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We have had fun videos where I say, you know, boyfriend's got to meet me, and me and my best friend Manny. I always said we always did the Bad Boys 2 imitation. You know, when the boyfriend came knocking on the door, and we always said, you know, Yazzie, when the boyfriend comes, this is what we're gonna do, and we just had fun.
They got to go through an interview and everything.
Man, you know, and you just gotta have fun with your kids.
You hear
Enjoy
me,
that
Maya?
time.
You better know it. Deals on
You
your
know?
head.
And just enjoy your time. And really, if you feel that you're not doing your job, I mean, just being there and really trying your hardest, you are doing your job. And it's okay to ask for help. You know, you don't have that prideful thing of, man, I can't afford this right now, and don't suffer with your kids, man. Just let that pride go and say, hey, I need assistance, I need help, because that's something as a father I had to really humble myself, because as a father, you really don't want to tell your friends like, hey, I need money for diapers, hey, I need diapers for milk or wipes, you know. So I really had to humble myself and say, hey, this is what I need. So
Even asking questions, like
Yeah.
before, like if you didn't know the answer to something, you know what I'm saying? Like you didn't answer questions because you didn't want to reveal, you know, you thought people would look at you like you're dumb or you're stupid, so you just stayed ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And you know that's part of the curriculum that I facilitate to the kids. The National Compadres Joven Noble curriculum. It talks about the machismo,
Yes.
the machismo that we're taught about. You know, the more women you sleep with makes you a man. The more you fight and violence and money and you work hard and you provide. Like that's what all makes you a man. You know what I'm saying? So that was the guidebook that we followed. Them were the guidelines that we followed. You know. But then you start to grow up. You go through things. You go through, you know, turmoil. You struggle with the flesh and the spirit. You get disappointed in people. You get disappointed in yourselves, and then you start to learn the true concept of what being a man is. You know what I'm saying? When you know you learn how to love and respect women. You learn about humanity. You learn about equality. You learn about your strengths and your weaknesses. What makes you happy? What makes you sad? The good, the bad, the ugly, and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I know that sometimes we got to go through some trials and tribulations, but everything we go through contributes to the future and who we become today, bro.
Yes, and that's true, man. Just to add on to that, man, I will say this. Put this in your head. Whoever's listening right now and is going to listen to this, think before you act, man. You're going to go through some situations where you're going to react instantly, right? But make sure before you react, think. Make sure if it's worth it or not. Life is gonna, knock you down to your knees and gonna keep you there. It's hard to really think before you react, but at the same time, there's been plenty of times where if I reacted, I wouldn't be here today. I'm gonna say that right now. You really gotta step back and think. If I do this, what's gonna happen to me, or where I'll be at tomorrow? What's going to happen to my family? At the same time, the machismo thing, you know, yes, when we're young, that's what we think that's is powerful. Once you find the one that you love, or, you know, you feel that you're there, let that go, you know, really humble yourself, commit, and you might have that solid rock next to you that is going to get you through, right? And you don't have to prove nothing to anybody. You don't have to be that machón, like I say, to your buddies, because at the end of the day, they're going to laugh at you. They're going to say, haha, you know, look, he's out with us, but he has his girl or wife, you know, at home. And then they're going to be the first ones to point the fingers at you. So what I say is, you know, you really got to assess yourself and push back. It's about really taking that pride and ego and taking it back to get to where you need to be, because sometimes you don't need everybody next to you in order to get where you need to be at. You need to cut people off, because in order to get to success, you got to cut a lot of people that's hanging you onto you, that's keeping you to be successful. So don't be the laughing stock, to just prove a point, or be that machismo guy, and they're not doing it, just be that example, walk away, and continue fighting for what you want. And don't be ashamed to cut people off, because at the end of the day, it's your future, it's your goal that you want to accomplish, that's going to help your family and yourself. So don't be scared to cut the cord, because at the end of the day, they're just holding you down.
And it's not even always about the decisions that you make, but you got to be mindful of the people who are around you and the decisions they make,
Exactly.
because they can make a decision that can impact your life forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I went to prison for murder and ain't even killed nobody. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy decided to shoot and kill somebody, and me being the real guy that I am, I stuck to the rules. I took the ride. I did my 17. You know what I'm saying? But it just taught me to not relinquish your power to people.
Yes.
Because people have different values and different priorities. Yes. You have to measure your friends. You got to know their goals. You got to know their mission. You got to learn how to draw boundaries with people. Because if you deal with people who only believe in mistreating, misbehaving, killing, shooting, robbing, all these things, one of these days, one of them incidents are going to affect your life. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be disciplined enough, focused enough to make a conscious decision about yourself, what you do, and the people, what they do who are around you, because it can impact you. It can change your life just like that.
Instantly.
If you see that you got a friend that is a hothead, or they like to do certain things, or you know what I'm saying, you got to figure out if you ready to take that ride with them, or if you need to just love them from a distance.
Exactly. And it's okay to love them from a distance, and at the end of the day too, and I forgot to say this earlier, I was talking to Eladio about this. Another thing that I'm looking in, if elected and part of my campaign, when I'm talking to gangs on the streets, when I'm door knocking, it's ways for them to help in the campaign, or if elected, ways for them to get jobs and get them off the street so they feel empowered, or they feel that somebody really cares about them, because at the end of the day, some of them really want to make that living wage for their families, right? And that's what they say. They say, hey, all of us might not want that, but some of us do. And at the end of the day, if I can be that person that can really open that bridge and help our community and really show that I'm here for everybody, not just some, and look away from others. No, because at the end of the day, just because elected, Lord willing I am, just because I got a suit, I'm no different than a garbage man. I'm no different than anybody that I'm next to. I'm the same person, and I'm going to try to help everybody. So if you are trying to, get some on your resume, if you are going through a second chance, or you need some to put on, community hours, or, if you are in a gang that just want to see what it takes to go through a campaign and want to help and walk through the community and really show that what you can do, join up my campaign, come out and really be part of the community, be part of a positive impact that we can do all together. And what I say is, united, we can change our community. We can really change the look of how they look at us. That's
Woo, let's go, boy.
And at the end of the day,
change the look
I'm tired
of
getting judged. Okay? And we're all always getting judged. And if we keep letting them judge us, we're just going to continue to fail. So let's change the way they look at us. Let's change the way that
we look at ourselves. We got to change the way we look at ourselves.
You got the opportunity. Now, I give you the opportunity to come out. Hector Santiago, look me up.
Tell them where to find you, bro.
www.hectorsantiago.com, or Facebook, Hector Santiago, Instagram. I mean, you can find me. I was gonna give myself on.
Just don't look up the freestyle singer Hector Santiago.
But I mean, if you want to email me personally on the side, it's HECSANTIAGO2021@gmail.com. Let me know. Be part of the campaign. Let's be a positive influence together, and let's really get to the next level. And if elected, let's I mean, let's really change our district. Let's change what we really can overcome. But if not, hey, we're still going to continue our movement, and we're going to continue our mission, and we're not going to stop. So this is not just to BS you and say that we're just doing this just because I'm running. No, I'm not doing this for name recognition. I'm not doing this just because Hector Santiago wants more money and all. I lost it all, okay? I'm a pastor's son, so my dad's gonna knock me back to reality if I'm BSing you or if I get egotistic. My dad's gonna knock me over the head, like we say in Puerto Rico, un cocotazo.
Un cocotazo,
And, you know, and like I
un
said,
bofetón.
at the end of the day, name recognition to me, it's nothing. Because if, you know, I'm spiritual, and I'm sorry about this, you know, this whole campaign has been in God's hands. I said, hey, God, when I first started this campaign, I said, it's all in your hands, and look where I'm at today. So just like where he's got me today, he can take me down or actually finish my campaign. So
God gives and God takes away,
exactly.
bro.
So that's why I say I'm running this campaign, honestly, doing what I have to do for our people. And that's what makes me a different candidate, because at the end of the day, I do have fear of God. That's what my parents have installed in me. And also, I know I have to fight for our people. So don't think, you know, I'm born and raised Southwest. I know how to throw down for us to make sure we get the changes we need. So that way, the positive impact is made for our district, you know. And I had to get that off our chest, you know, my chest.
This is real everyday people, y'all. We at the end of the show. We're going to let Hector sign the Wall of Fame, man. And we're going to get to it, man. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
All right, now, everybody. We got Hector Santiago in the house running for City Council in District 6. I want to say thank you to everybody who's been sharing, subscribing, who've been tuning in. Much love. I appreciate you no matter where you are, near or far. I want to send a big shout out to LA Landscaping, Legendary Barber Lounge, Guys Pizza, all my people. I'm showing mad love and support. You know what I'm saying? July 10th, we're going to get all the way live. Your boy finna get married, finna do that thing. You better know it. Lit Music Entertainment in the house. We got the first annual Detroit Freestyle Festival coming up, so get your tickets for that. We got a lot of good things coming up, man. Southwest stand up, Downriver stand up, and wherever you are, shout out to Chicago, all my family, all my friends, all my loved ones. We getting it in, man. Stay tuned Monday at 8. We're going to have another special guest. You never know. It might just be me. You better know it for your blow it.